Hello, everyone. This is Carolyn reading to you from the Fall River Herald News on Tuesday, January 6th. As always, we'll start today with our local weather. Today will be a cloudy day, but not quite as cold. The temperatures will be from 36 degrees to 43 degrees during the day and 29 degrees to 36 degrees at night. Tomorrow, Wednesday, January 7th, we will have a little morning rain. Temps during the day, 43 degrees to 50 degrees, and at night, 27 degrees to 34 degrees. Thursday, January 8th, will be a day with brilliant sunshine. Temperatures during the day will be 43 degrees to 50 degrees, and at night, 29 degrees to 36 degrees. Friday will be a cloudy day. Temps during the day, 45 to 52 degrees, and at night, 38 to 45 degrees. And finally, on Saturday, we will see some low clouds around. Temperatures will be 51 degrees to 58 degrees during the day and 35 degrees to 42 degrees at night. And next today, we'll go to our local front page stories. The first story in Swansea is entitled Officials Explain Brown Drinking Water. This story was written by Emily Shearney, the Herald News USA Today Network. Images of amber-colored water filling sink basins and bathtubs have long been the bane of town residents, who have been quick to call on the water department to do something about the so-called brown water. As complaints persist, Water Commissioner Jim Pelletier and Swansea Water District Superintendent Jeffrey Sutherland offered, quote, an explanation, end quote, during a recent interview. Sutherland said his own concerns about the water is what caused him 8 years ago to take the helm of a special tax-levying entity operated by volunteer labor that is neither private company nor nonprofit organization. He likened the town's water district, established in 1949, to the Vatican within Rome, an independent body within the city that supports residents as both customers and owners alike. As the town has become more populous, the water system has not, Pelletier and Sutherland agreed. Several updates to the town's 3 treatment plants and the implementation of treatment techniques mandated by the state that enforce adding chlorine to eliminate bacteria from drinking water has inadvertently, quote, turned the water brown, end quote, said Pelletier. The color is the result of a chemical reaction between the minerals in chlorinated water. Pelletier added that the town's 1962 Bushy Road treatment plant is the cause of much of the discoloration in the town's drinking water, due to its filtration system being unable to remove iron and manganese. He said the town is working to update the plant, which he is confident will resolve discoloration in the water. Brown water is the talk of the town. A Facebook group titled Swansea Residents for Clean Water, created in October 2016, has 1,600 members. Resident concerns when it comes to the color of the water have been expressed in other resident-led Facebook groups, and every now and then the news of a load of laundry stained brown makes waves. A plastic jug at the Water Department's main office at 700 Wilbur Avenue is filled with town water. And unless the jug is vigorously shaken, as Pelletier demonstrated, the water is clear, with a thin film of the iron and manganese settled to the bottom. Iron and manganese are naturally occurring minerals in water pumped through treatment plants from Swansea's well fields. The minerals, said Pelletier, are naturally in solution or dissolved and untraceable. But when chlorine is added to the mix, those minerals are oxidized and come out of solution, therefore taking on a rust-colored appearance, though no rust is present. Levels of manganese are below a state-determined detrimental marker. Sutherland says the district does not downplay the appearance of the water, which can diminish resident confidence in utilities provided. But for those concerned with the quality, it's more of a nuisance than it is a health risk, he said. Pipes are in good shape, Sutherland says. Swansea has both plastic pipes, mostly in its newer subdivisions due to state guidance, and ceramic-lined water mains. These are both in good shape, say Water District officials. When water lines are examined, plastic pipes exhibit mineral staining, while the ceramic-lined pipes hold onto the oxidized minerals, an estimated 50 to 100 pounds of their residue in some pipelines. In recent years, the town has implemented unidirectional flushing, a strategic maneuver that calls for valves to be turned off purposely to pump mineral-rich water at 500 to 1,000 gallons per minute for 4 minutes to keep water mains clean. The high-speed rush is intended to carry discolored water away from treatment facilities and from homeowners' systems. Robocalls, lawn signs, and Facebook announcements are some of the alerts sent to residents by the highly communicative Water District, a department that not only live streams its commissioners' meetings, but encourages residents to watch along and submit real-time questions while meetings are rolling. According to Sutherland, slower-moving water is less likely to stir up the inside of mineral-laden pipes, which is why, he said, residential areas with larger lots and less demand see less discoloration. As water speeds up and gains velocity for densely populated areas like Ocean Grove, it carries more minerals. Quality and quantity are driving the Water District. Delivering more water that carries less minerals have shaped directives of quality and quantity for the district's future, said Sutherland. Meter replacement is ongoing, with 500 meters left to update, which can impact the quality and the quantity of water utilities, said Sutherland. Most water meters are more than 20 years old, with Swansea being one of the last towns to part with physical meter reading cards in the whole of New England. With a district budget of just under $5 million, 75% of revenues collected via taxation, a formula that depends on the number of bedrooms a home has, and 25% direct water consumption. With real-time meter readings, the department is looking to account for leaks, harvest revenues from water use more efficiently, and rely less on taxation to drum up much of its funding. Ongoing talks to purchase water from the neighboring town of Somerset may yield some improvements in the way of quality, Pelletier said. As for quality, the district continues to implement updates to treat and reduce chronic issues of discoloration, especially taking a North Swansea water tank offline this past summer for maintenance. A tea bag can spoil the bathtub, said Pelletier. And now we'll go to our next local front page news story. That story is entitled, Swansea Set to Welcome New Business That Sells Power Tools and Machinery. This story is written by Emily Shearney, the Herald News USA Today Network. Norfolk Power Equipment has made a name for itself over the past 50 years selling lawn equipment, tools, and accessories. With locations in Carver and Wrentham, as well as a third site in Burrillville, Rhode Island, the family-owned company has selected Swansea to set up shop. The business, operated by husband and wife Stephen and Tammy Nunes since 1975, according to official town documents, will be located at 2755 Grand Army of the Republic Highway, just west of Harvest Tap and Table Restaurant, also owned by the Nunes since 2014, near the Rehoboth town line. We sell, rent, and service a variety of construction, lawn, and garden equipment, Norfolk Power's website reads. In addition to serving local customers and businesses, the company reportedly serves municipal, state, and federal agencies. A 10,040 square foot retail space and associated parking lot will serve patrons and display machinery on site. It is not yet known whether the vacant wedge-shaped lot, valued at $15,000, will see vertical development. Site likely to have no environmental impacts. The Nunes purchased the land on November 11, 2010, for $160,000, according to Registry of Deeds records. An order of conditions was signed and issued December 15th by the town's Conservation Commission, but no impacts to wetlands or coastal areas are indicated in the documentation. The project is subjected to Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection stormwater standards and local wetlands protection bylaws. Proposed construction will comply with town ordinances so long as it observes 25 feet of setback from adjacent vegetative wetlands boundaries. Additionally, no trash dumpsters, use of herbicides or pesticides, fuel storage, or burning of vegetation is permitted within 50 feet of wetlands. Stephen Nunes did not immediately respond for a comment. And our next local news story on the front page of today's Herald News is entitled, Select Board Chairman won't seek new term. This story is written by Emily Cherney, the Herald News, USA Today Network. Voters will need to elect a new official to the Town of Swansea's Board of Selectmen in the 2026 town election come April. In a Tuesday, December 30th interview, Select Board Chairman Stephen Kitchen announced that he will not enter the running as the incumbent candidate seeking to renew his 3-year term on the town's legislative body, citing his age and the timing of the election. Kitchen's tenure spans nearly 2 decades of serving town residents, for 15 years on the Advisory and Finance Committee, which he chaired for 5 years until being elected to the Board of Selectmen, where he served for 9 years, with his last term expiring in 2026. He also chaired the Swansea Police Building Committee. Kitchen said rather than pull nomination papers available Friday, January 2nd, to initiate a bid for re-election, "I think it's time to let others run," he said, estimating that candidates may now come forward to join the race. "I'll be 69 in April," Kitchen said. To him, the prospect of another 3-year term signals the right time in my life to withdraw from public service. He added that it has been a privilege and an honor to serve Swansea and that residents have been good to me. Lund confirms his bid for a seat on the Select Board. Gary Lund, who lost his first attempt to claim a seat on the Board of Selectmen in the 2025 election to Selectman Robert Medeiros, said Tuesday his campaign is gearing up for another election season. Lund, a lifelong Swansea resident and member of the Harbor Advisory Committee, confirmed that he will run for selectman in the 2026 election. In response to Kitchen declining to run, Lund said he would have been a, quote, formidable, end quote, opponent. "We've got the organization and the motivation," Lund said of his supporters. Central to Lund's campaign is the desire to provide Swansea with new leadership, along with the promise of a whole new transformation that would consider taxation in line with Swansea's fiscal health and generally progress, said Lund. Selectmen's race uncontested currently. According to Lund and Kitchen, no other candidate has made a bid for the Swansea Select Board as of December 30th. The annual town election will be held Monday, April 13th. In addition to the open seat on the Board of Selectmen, 2 seats on the Swansea School Committee, each with a 3-year term, are up for election. The town will elect a moderator and tax assessor, each with a 3-year term. Next April, 2 trustees of the public library will be decided for the next 3 years. 1 seat on the Community Preservation Committee and another on the Sewer Commission is up for election with a 3-year term. Single seats with 5-year terms on the Park Commission and the Planning Board, respectively, will be on the 2026 ballot. 2 more seats, one with a term of 4 years and another for a 1-year term on the Planning Board, will be up for election. 3 constables, each with a 2-year term, will be selected on Election Day. There's also a large picture on the front page of today's Herald News with a caption that says, "Sliding Through the Winter." The picture is of people that are ice skating, and the caption below the picture reads, "A family plays on the ice skating rink at Kennedy Park in Fall River on January 2nd. Our next local news story now, South Coast Health honors 12 staff team with top award. This story was written by Beth McDermott, AI-assisted reporter, USA Today Network. Portraits of the 2025 South Coast Health President's Award for Excellence honorees were unveiled January 2nd at Charlton Memorial, St. Luke's, and Toby Hospitals, as well as the health system's Fairhaven Business Center, according to a community announcement. The President's Award for Excellence is the highest honor for staff, nurses, providers, and physicians nominated by their coworkers for outstanding performance, integrity, and overall quality of service. This year, 12 individuals and one 5-member team were celebrated for their extraordinary work supporting South Coast Health's patients, visitors, and staff. The 2025 President's Award for Excellence honorees: Christian Pope, DOFACOG, Chief of Obstetrics and Gynecology; Beth Wellborn, Employee Experience and Wellbeing Manager; Denise Dupuis, Team Leader, Care Navigation; Deborah Neary, Clinical Pharmacist, Charlton Memorial Hospital; Jose Joe Lima, Carpenter and Locksmith, Facilities; Yamshid Vakharia, MD, Director of General Surgery, Charlton Memorial Hospital; Maria Benoit, RN, Cardiac Testing, Nuclear Medicine; Kimberly Kuhn, MHA, Executive Director and Chief of Staff to COO; Carlos Marquez, RN, Nurse Educator, Professional Development; Marie Couto, Director of Operations, Surgery Care Center, Women and Children; Suzette Pacheco, Team Lead, Environmental Services; Rebecca Martin, PA-C, Physician Assistant, Cardiology, Advanced Heart Failure; Team Recipient, Carlton Memorial Hospital Emergency Department Behavioral Health Team, Elizabeth Cormier, RN, Kimberly Ramels, RN, Susan Mitchell, RN, Natalia Arujo, Clinical Technician, Eleanor Taylor, MSN, FNP-C, CMH, ED Manager. Each year, more than 100 colleagues are nominated across the health system, with a lengthy list of accomplishments displaying outstanding care and service. Honorees are chosen based on how well they meet the selection criteria of excellent performance and demonstration of South Coast Health's values. And next we'll go to a national news story. CDC, flu season moderately severe as cases reach 11 million. Seasonal influenza activity remained elevated and rose in the final week of December, U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention data showed on January 5th, as the agency for the first time classified the 2025-26 season as moderately severe. CDC estimates the season's toll so far at least 11 million illnesses, 120,000 hospitalizations, and 5,000 deaths. In the 2024-25 season, CDC estimated at least 5.3 million illnesses, 63,000 hospitalizations, and 2,700 deaths in the week ended December 28, 2024. Flu cases are always underreported because not everyone tests for the flu, said Eric Asher, a family medicine physician at Northwell's Lenox Hill Hospital, adding that we're not going to see the peak until at least another week or two. Public health officials told Reuters last week that holiday travel, low vaccination rates, and misinformation contributed to the surge in cases. Fewer people getting vaccinated and a partial vaccine mismatch are key reasons for the surge this year, Asher said. It's premature to try to make that conclusion yet, said Aaron Millstone, professor of pediatrics at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. CDC reported one flu-related pediatric death last week, bringing the 2025-26 season total to 9, and said that flu activity will likely continue for several weeks. This has been Carolyn reading to you from the Herald News on Tuesday, January 6th. I hope you all have a wonderful day.